Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode focuses on something that almost sounds unbelievable, something that feels like it should belong in science fiction, but is absolutely happening right now. We're going to break down a development so transformative that it could genuinely reshape how multi-chain crypto systems operate. And what's even more exciting is that the market charts are starting to signal the same early patterns we saw with Solana right before its explosive run in 2020. There's one core metric in particular that has me fired up about what the next phase might look like. So settle in, because the story unfolding here is much bigger than just a typical price update. Let me start by laying out what just happened in the most straightforward way possible. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a professional before making any investment decisions. The Internet Computer, ICP's blockchain, can now hold Tron-based assets directly inside its smart contracts, fully on-chain, no middlemen, no third-party validators that can be bribed or hacked, no bridges vulnerable to human error, and definitely no dusty servers hiding in some stranger's apartment across the world. ICP can literally generate Tron addresses, sign TRX transactions, and execute them natively on the Tron blockchain using something called Chain-Key Threshold ECDSA. Now, I know that phrase sounds like a mouthful of cryptographic jargon, but trust me, what this unlocks is groundbreaking. The developers started this approach with Sui, Cardano, and XRP. Now Tron has been added to the list, and the implications are huge. For the first time, we're seeing genuine multi-chain capability baked directly into a Layer 1 protocol without using those notoriously fragile bridges that have failed throughout crypto's history. If you've been around for a while, you remember the disasters: Ronin, Wormhole, Nomad, the list goes on. Billions vanished because bridges are fundamentally flawed. They're like giant target areas begging hackers to drain them. ICP basically took one look at this broken system and said, forget the entire concept, we're building something completely different. They tackled the problem in such an unconventional and innovative way that it completely transformed the system. Stronger, more secure, and unlike anything seen before. Unorthodox, but undeniably brilliant. Now let's shift to the market side of the story. Several analysts online have been sharing a massive 2-week chart of ICP's performance against Bitcoin. And what's visible is impressive: upward momentum and a confirmed breakout from a long-term downtrend that has throttled the token's price since 2021. Multiple chartists are pointing out that ICP's structure right now looks eerily similar to Solana's setup before it started its explosive climb in late 2020. If you remember that era, you know exactly how dramatic those moves were. And to be clear, this isn't some fantasy prediction pulled from thin air. The chart structure is laid out. The breakout already happened, and we're entering that phase in the market cycle where assets with solid development and strong fundamentals often start waking up. The majority of people aren't noticing this because they've dismissed ICP as some project that peaked in 2021 and then died, but the data says otherwise. A particularly interesting metric: the number of wallets holding over 10 ICP has been steadily rising. That signals a shift. Retail investors aren't just watching, they're accumulating, and they're doing it quietly, long before hype kicks in. Even more telling, many of these new tokens are being locked inside the network nervous system, ICP's governance and staking system. If you're still keeping your tokens on a centralized exchange, understand something: the exchange technically owns them, not you. Those coins sit in custodial wallets. If the exchange gets compromised or decides to freeze withdrawals, you're in trouble. That's why the crypto mantra exists: not your keys, not your crypto. There's another insight floating around from a well-known trader. The last pump was early. The market still has a large number of short positions waiting to be liquidated. The price pulled back, wiped out over-leveraged longs, stabilized, and is now grinding upward again. This trader is tracking for a surge in volume and expects the price to hunt short liquidations around the $6.30 zone. These are the kinds of observations that differentiate experienced traders from those constantly getting liquidated. Now, Let's switch gears for a moment and talk about caffeine AI, because this is going to be an enormous catalyst. If you think this platform won't gain traction, consider this. A similar AI-driven tool called Lovable went from 2.3 million users to nearly 8 million in just 4 months. Developers are creating over 100,000 new products daily on that platform, and Lovable already hit $100 million in yearly revenue by June. ICP's version has superior tech, decentralized storage, and the advantage of blockchain integrations that other platforms simply can't match. If you're not bullish already, you're underestimating what's being built. This isn't even about the price. This is about infrastructure capable of powering the next generation of AI applications. Price comes later. Real tech comes first. If ICP follows Solana's path when it comes to liquid staking participation, we could eventually see 50 million ICP locked. The infrastructure is already ready. What's missing is awareness, education, and time. Adoption always starts slowly, then suddenly becomes unstoppable. Recent analysis shows ICP hovering around the $4.8 area, positioned perfectly on a long-term ascending support line that has held strong since early October. This zone overlaps with a broader accumulation region, a confluence area often associated with trend reversals. The broader view shows ICP moving inside a large descending channel. The upper resistance line sits between $7 and $7.50, and there's a critical horizontal price level at $5.92. Analysts are calling this the bullish trigger. A daily close above that price would signal a strong shift in market structure and likely send ICP climbing toward the top of that channel. If support holds, ICP may retest the $4.40 to $4.90 region before attempting another push toward $5.92. A clean breakout above that opens the door to $7 and potentially even the $11.78 zone. But if the price falls under $3.74, we could revisit $3.20 or lower. The risk-reward setup is clear, and this is exactly where smart traders plan their moves. On the weekly time frame, indicators are showing early signs of life. The RSI is around 45, sitting just above its moving average. It's neutral but rising, one of the earliest signals that buying pressure is recovering. The MACD is curling upward, crossing above the signal line, while the histogram transitions from red to green. Momentum is still weak, but growing strength combined with RSI above 50 would likely trigger a meaningful bounce. These early setups are the ones that experienced traders watch closely before the crowd wakes up. Here's something almost nobody is aware of. ICP is compatible with ISO 2022, the global standard used by major banks and financial institutions. Every big financial system relies on this messaging model. The problem is, most blockchains can't handle it because storing structured financial data on-chain is extremely expensive. ICP solved that issue completely. You can store gigabytes of complex financial data directly on-chain for pennies. That means ICP isn't just compatible with the future of global finance, it's positioning itself as the storage foundation for it. While most chains are obsessed with gas fees, throughput, and transaction speeds, ICP is quietly building a system that institutions will actually be able to use. The pieces coming together right now are extraordinary. True multi-chain functionality without bridges, unprecedented AI integration, institutional-level data capabilities, rising staking participation, positive technical charts, accumulating wallets, and signs that the market cycle is shifting. ICP isn't just improving, it's entering a phase where its tech is aligning with real demand, real use cases, and real momentum. Stay sharp, stay informed, and never sleep on a project just because the crowd once misunderstood it. The next phase might arrive a lot sooner than most people expect. So, what do you think about ICP's current position? Are you bullish on its growth in AI and DeFi? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, stay curious, stay cautious, and I'll catch you in the next one.